Stop sanitizing every single thing your baby touches, because you're accidentally making them more likely to develop allergies and asthma later in life. In countries like Finland, or even in rural parts of the Midwest here in the States, parents let their kids get a little dirty. And those children show nearly 50% lower rates of autoimmune issues. In this episode, we're diving into 4 surprising habits that are common in households from New York to Los Angeles. Habits that feel like good parenting, but might actually be harming your baby's long-term health. We're going to look at the science of the microbiome, the hidden dangers of the pouch diet, and why being too safe is a risk in itself. I've got a 4-week plan to help you break these habits, and honestly, it's going to make your life as a parent a whole lot easier. Let's talk numbers for a second. Did you know that about 80% of American parents believe that a germ-free environment is the gold standard for a healthy infant? We spend billions on antibacterial wipes, UV sterilizers, and specialized soaps. But here's the kicker. While we've been scrubbing our nurseries to look like operating rooms, pediatric asthma and peanut allergies have skyrocketed by over 20% in the last 2 decades. We think we're protecting them, but we're actually leaving their immune systems unemployed. Think of the immune system like a world-class athlete. If it never practices against weak opponents like common house dust or a little dirt from the backyard, it won't know what to do when a real challenge comes along. It starts attacking things it shouldn't, like pollen or peanuts. Picture this scenario. It's a Saturday morning at a park in Chicago. You see a mum, let's call her Sarah. Her 10-month-old, Leo, drops his pacifier on the grass. Sarah gasps, grabs the pacifier like it's a biohazard, and immediately douses it in hand sanitizer before boiling it in a portable sterilizer. She thinks she's being a super mum, but little Leo's gut is screaming for the healthy bacteria found in that soil. What the child is learning is that the world is a dangerous, dirty place. The result? Leo grows up in a bubble, and the first time he goes to preschool and hits a real virus, his system goes into total shock because it has no database of microbes to draw from. Then there's the pouch epidemic. Walk into any Whole Foods or Target in the country and you'll see aisles of organic baby food pouches. They're convenient, right? You're in a rush in Los Angeles traffic, you just squeeze a blend of kale and pear into your baby's mouth. But here's habit number 2, relying too much on commercial baby food. When a baby only sucks on a plastic nozzle, they aren't learning how to chew or move food around their mouth. This actually affects their jaw development and speech. Plus, even the veggie pouches are often loaded with fruit sugars to make them palatable. We are accidentally training our babies to only like sweet, mushy things, leading to the dreaded picky eater phase by age 2. This doesn't just affect their health today, it impacts their entire future. From age 6 months to about 3 years, that is the golden window. This is when the gut microbiome is finalized, when the palate is set, and when the brain's stress thermostat is calibrated. If we miss this window by being too clean, too fast with food, or too protective, we're playing catch-up for the rest of their lives. A study from the University of British Columbia tracked hundreds of infants, and they found that those who weren't exposed to 4 specific types of gut bacteria in the first 100 days were significantly more likely to develop asthma by age 3. It's a biological clock that doesn't stop ticking. Let's get into the 3rd habit, the quiet baby trap. We live in a world of educational apps and YouTube sensory videos. Maybe you're at a diner in Manhattan and the baby starts fussing. You hand them the iPhone to watch Cocomelon so you can finish your coffee. It seems harmless, but it's harming their serve and return interaction. Brain development in babies happens through a back-and-forth dance with a human being. When a baby looks at a screen, the brain goes into a passive state. They aren't learning how to read facial expressions or regulate their own boredom. Long term, this is linked to shorter attention spans when they eventually hit kindergarten in the American school system. And finally, habit number 4, avoiding risky play. In our effort to be helicopter parents, we've removed the risk from childhood. We don't let them crawl on uneven surfaces. We don't let them climb the small slide at the playground. We hover. But physical risk is how babies learn spatial awareness and grit. If a baby never falls down on a carpeted floor, they never learn how to catch themselves. We are seeing a generation of kids in the US who lack proprioception, which is basically knowing where their body is in space. They become more clumsy, more anxious, and less willing to try new things because they've been taught that movement equals danger. So, how do we fix this? We use a method I call the Resilient Baby Blueprint. It's based on the old friends hypothesis, the idea that humans evolved to live with microbes and challenges. The main goal is simple: stop being a shield and start being a guide. We want to move from overprotecting to optimal exposure. Instead of focusing on germ-free, we focus on germ-diverse. Instead of convenience, we focus on experience. Let's compare the wrong way versus the right way. The wrong way is the sterile bubble. You use bleach on the floors. You only feed purees. You use screens for quiet time. And you never let them get a scratch. The result? A child with a weak immune system, a picky palate, and high anxiety. The right way is the natural explorer. You use soap and water, not bleach. You introduce finger foods early. You talk to your baby instead of using screens, and you let them crawl in the grass. The result? A child who is robust, eats broccoli, and isn't afraid of the world. Here is your 4-week roadmap to transform your baby's health. Week 1 is all about ditching the antibacterials. Your goal is to stop using hand sanitizer on every toy. Just stop. Use plain old soap and water if something is actually covered in raw chicken juice. But for everything else, let it be. Put a sticky note on your diaper bag that says, "Bacteria is my friend." You might feel a little grossed out at first, but remind yourself that every time your baby puts a relatively clean floor toy in their mouth, they are vaccinating themselves against future allergies. Week 2 is the texture revolution. If you've been relying on those pouches, it's time to stop. Take a soft avocado, a piece of steamed carrot, or some flaky salmon. Put it on the high chair tray and let them touch it. Yes, it will be messy. You'll be cleaning sweet potato off the walls of your kitchen, but this is critical. They need to feel the squish and the crunch. By day 5 of this week, you'll notice your baby is more engaged with their food. They'll start using their pincer grasp to pick up small bits. This isn't just lunch, it's a workout for their brain and their jaw muscles. Week 3 is the screen detox. This one is hard for the parents. We use screens as a digital babysitter because we're exhausted. This week, when you're tempted to pull out the iPad at a restaurant, try a busy bag instead. Fill a small bag with a wooden spoon, a crinkly piece of paper, and a plastic mirror. When the baby gets bored, they have to figure out how to play with these low-tech items. You'll notice that by the end of the week, your baby is looking at you more. They are serving you a smile, and you are returning it. That is the literal building blocks of their IQ. Week 4 is controlled risk. Take your baby to a local park, find a patch of clean grass, and let them crawl. If they head toward a small incline, don't grab them immediately. Stay close, be their safety net, but let them try to navigate the slope. When they slip, don't gasp, just say, "Oops, you're okay, try again." You are teaching them that failure isn't a catastrophe, it's just data. By the end of this month, you won't recognize your fragile baby. They will be a little sturdier, a little dirtier, and a whole lot healthier. I want to share a story about a dad named Mark from Seattle. Mark was a clean freak. He used to wipe his daughter Lily's hands every 5 minutes at the playground. Lily was always sick. Ear infections, constant sniffles. Mark decided to try the resilient baby approach. He stopped the constant wiping, he started taking her to a nature play group where kids dig in the mud, and he swapped the fruit pouches for real whole foods. Within 3 months, Lily hadn't had a single ear infection. Her picky eating vanished. Mark told me, "I realized I wasn't protecting her. I was preventing her from growing." The science is clear. A massive study published in the journal Science tracked children in traditional farming communities versus those in modern urban environments. The farm kids had a massive diversity of microbes in their gut and almost 0 cases of asthma. We can't all move to a farm in Iowa, but we can bring the farm mindset into our suburban homes. We can stop over-sanitizing, start real fooding, and let our kids be the messy, resilient little humans they were born to be. Remember, parenting is a marathon, not a sprint. It's easy to grab the pouch or the sanitizer because it makes right now easier. But we are building the foundation for a human being who will live for 80 or 90 years. Every time you let them get a little dirty, or let them struggle with a piece of broccoli, you are giving them a gift. You are building their internal armor. You don't have to be perfect. Just start today. Next time they drop that toy on the rug, just pick it up, blow off the hair, and give it back. You're doing a great job, and your baby's immune system will thank you for it 20 years from now. If this episode opened your eyes, please share it with another parent who might be over-scrubbing their life. Let's change the culture of fear-based parenting together. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive into raising healthy, happy kids in this modern world. I'm so glad you're on this journey with me. See you in the next one.